Welcome to Creative Pages with Catherine. I'm Catherine. It's time to celebrate Juno Ween. The playlist is being sponsored by Crafting with Indiana Jones. And Annie, I'm sure, has just a fabulous project for you. I have 3 projects I'm going to just briefly show you here on the playlist. They're just going to give you a little quick snippet of each one, and then I'm going to have links in the description box going to each of the 3 projects. If you want to see how they're done, the full project, head on over to the other 3 project links, because I want to keep it short for the playlist so that way you all can enjoy all of the other fantastic creators on the playlist and see what else they have in store for you. I'm going to be doing a bow garland. That's a bring back from a project I did about a year ago, and it was based on one of Indiana Jones's projects. And I'm also going to show you how to use some of the scraps from the bow garland in a scrapbook page and a card. And finally, I have another version of the bow, and that one is kind of fun. It's using one of our new tools, the Envelope and Bow Creator. So if you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, please hit the subscribe button when you're on your way over. Give me a thumbs up if you like that project. I hope you enjoy. Piece that we cut, we are going to bring it in. We're going to use our precision point adhesive to hold it in place. You can use your tape runner, but honestly, let's make sure this actually does stay put. So here we go. I'm just going to hold this in place just a little bit. Or you could also use your hot glue. I know a lot of y'all love your hot glue guns. Go for it. This is the kind of project that would work on as well. But I like this, the precision point adhesive. I can just put a little dot on there. I can bring my 2 pieces together. I can let it dry. It goes on blue and it dries clear. And it really holds strong. So this is now the back of our bow. So here's the front of our bow. And that's the back. And we are going to add our little strip going around, and I will go ahead and use the side with the stars. I'm going to put another little piece of glue on the back of my piece here. Almost looks like another polka dot, which matches the pattern a bit, but I'm just going to go from the top here, and when I go around, you'll notice that your piece is a little bit big, and that is on purpose because we need to have a loop for our yarn to go through coming up, and you don't want to have your part glued down that you need your yarn to run through. So hence the reason we are leaving a little piece wide enough for our yarn to get through as well. So you want to fold it over and kind of run it around. You want your points, it'll basically meet up here, but you can see where I can get both of my fingers in as well. There's this nice little loop that we will be able to run our yarn through, or if you want, you can even run your yarn through here as well. And if you want, you can also add on these extra pieces as well to add extra fluff to your bows. So I will go ahead and do that as well real quick for you. Just adding extra layers of the paper. Which way is out? Our polka dots are out on the side. I have to make sure I get the glue on the right side here. So we'll go ahead and piece these together. I've got a dot inside that I'm going to push down over here. And I've got another dot on the back side here. And I'm just going to angle our piece here. And you can see where it gives us an extra little loop, and I didn't hold it in place long enough, so of course it didn't stick down for me. So you do need to hold on to it for just a minute or so, just to allow the glue to set. There we go. And then I will go ahead and put a little piece here and a little piece here. Oops. There we go, to stick that down as well, to add to our other side. Goodness, I'm starting to glue my fingers a little bit, but that's part of the fun, isn't it? Of doing all these fun paper crafts. It's getting a little bit of glue. Here we go. So we have our extra bow here, and then we also can take our 1/2-inch strip here and we're going to create little tails for our bow as well. Let me give these just another second here to set up. Yep. Okay. So we can do this on our trimmer as well, and actually I am going to cut a bunch of 2-inch pieces on my trimmer coming up, but for ease of just being quick here, I'm going to cut a couple of 2-inch strips using my 13 by 13 cutting mat and just my regular scissors here. You can see I didn't quite get the angle straight, but I'm okay with that because I am going to cut a little banner piece out of this and a little banner piece out of the other one. Here we go, going up through the middle. I just put a little fold in the middle to make it easy to know where to cut up through to the middle here. And that's one end. Putting another fold in the center again. Here we go, cut up through the middle. And just go up with your scissors real quick and easy. Okay. So now I'm going to, do we think we want the stripe side showing? That might be cute. Let's do that. Otherwise we could do the same with the stars, but that might be not show as well. So I'm going to put an extra, whoops, flip you back over, a little dot here on the top part, because these two are going to overlap and layer a bit. There we go. And then we need another dot here to stick it to the back of our bow. And voila. There we go. Our bow is complete. We need to give the ribbons just a little bit of time to dry, but otherwise we have a nice double bow to use on our garland. We are going to try to glue these every 4 inches or so and string it up kind of like a garland, which is what it's supposed to be. And I did, when I was cutting my little bows at the bottom of my bows, I did cut some just at an angle and then some kind of more in a banner shape. So the banner shape I think is the one I demoed, and this one you just take your scissor and you just cut it at an angle. It really isn't that hard. If you would like me to demo it, leave me a comment and I will demo it in a future video. So I'm putting a pretty generous amount of glue on the back of our bow here. I'm going to pinch up the yarn just a little bit here to create a spot to get into the glue. And there we go. That's our first one. I'm going to place it in and move on to my next one here. So I've just finished up putting my 7th bow in. I was able to get another little bow on the end here. I think if I had 4 feet of yarn, that would have worked better, but you know what? I have a bow to use on another scrapbook layout or in one of my cards. This will not go to waste. And I'm going to let the glue dry and then I will show you the final products here at the end of the video. Here's Indy Annie Jones's Halloween garland. I will put a link to her video in the description box below. Here it is, our finished Halloween garland. I don't have a fireplace to put it on, so I am using this cabinet. You can see some of our double bows, some of our single bows, and all of them are holding strong. Looks great, like we're ready for Halloween. Start to put our page together. We're going to start with, let's call it the left side of our page here. And I want to frame it out with our little strips, our scraps from our decorative trimmer cutting. And so we'll go ahead and do the ones down the sides first. All right, so now we have a cute frame going around the left side of our page. And I'm going to go ahead and add, I don't usually do both pages at the same time, but we're going to go ahead and get our other frame on the right side, so this way we can kind of do both our pages at the same time. I didn't make as big of a plan for these pages as I have on some of the others, since I did have events all weekend. We'll see how it all comes together. It's kind of fun to really test my creativity here, and I thought it would also be fun to show you all these cutting techniques I haven't had a chance to really show you yet. So you see how this one just perfectly went down on our 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock. So we have our pumpkins, and I kind of want to keep them going the direction that the pumpkins are going because I like that. And then I'm going to bring in my little bow. I'm going to center this one a little bit more. I'm going to put my bow up here, and then I also had a couple of other scraps from doing the bows that I was thinking about creating a couple of other just little decorative pieces on our ends here, and we'll add probably a little sticker to the middle of them to cover the seam a bit. I decided to use both sides of the paper because then it accentuates a little bit more what's going on. I kept the polka dots away from the other polka dots so that way it wouldn't be quite so busy. And so we have those on the bottom. I think I'm actually going to center this up here. There we go. And so we have our 2 pages done. I will hold them a little closer to the camera for you. And here's our other page with our little bow scrap pieces that we pieced together. There you go. Not too shabby for doing something on the fly on a Monday morning here. So our card that we're going to do, and here we go. We have this nice saying to use for our card front. You can set aside your trimmer because this one's going to be just a super quick card. And there we go. I just think this would be a super cute invite for if you have another kid that you want to have come and trick or treat with your kids, or just send a little Halloween greeting. You can see how the ghosts kind of have that little bit of shimmer to them from our white shimmer cardstock, and then we added the bats, and it just would be a fun card to send to somebody. We've had a lot of fun with full moon fun, but now it's time for me to pull out our Happy Hauntings collection. We're going to have a really fun black and white bow when we're done, because I want to show you another way we have, a more updated way to make bows. Creative Memories came out with a new tool since my last videos. And this is it. This is the Envelope and Bow Creator. So I'm going to show you how to make a bow using this tool that is available on my website. You can see it linked in the description box below this video. But it's super easy to use and definitely a different technique than what I showed you on the bow garland that I made earlier. So I'm going to make a large bow, and here is going to be our Halloween bow. So we're going to use a little bit of our precision point adhesive because I just find it's a little bit cleaner, I guess, if you will, and it really sticks strongly. So I'm going to do it so where I'm lining up the paper. I'm just putting a little dot on, and then we're going to line up our paper here in the center, folding in our two ends on our larger piece, bringing it in to that point. We're just following the flow of the paper. I'm following where we put these notches on the paper. I'm going to hold it here for a minute, and then I'm going to flip it over so that way my point that I just glued down is going to stick down on here. My straight part of my paper is going to be on the front part of my bow. So I'm going to add just another little dot of glue here in the center of my smaller piece. And go ahead and place that down as well. Oh, I guess I probably should have put it on the other side of the paper. If I want my bow to kind of match, I'm going to put it so the black matches the black. There we go. Oops. Okay. And it is still sticking. I'm not used to having so much glue flowing around. I'm used to using my tape runners. And then we're going to take this little strip, and actually I think I'm going to leave it with the stripes going through the stripes. If you want, you can pick a paper where you can do both sides. I just drew another small line of glue, and I'm going to go ahead and wrap this around through the center to give our bow just a nice, tight, clean look. And I actually am lining up my line so it almost disappears a little bit, but it just gives it a little bit of a tight look. Hang on, I need just a hair bit more. I think I got more in the center than towards the ends there. There we go. But you can see this glue dries so fast. It's already sticking down. It comes out blue, but it dries clear. And this reminds me of, I don't know if was it Gomez Adams had the striped tie. Somebody leave me a comment and let me know. I know it wasn't orange inside, but I think the orange just adds a little bit of fun. And you can see how much kind of quicker and easier that is to put together. So if you want to make a Halloween garland and you want to give our envelope and bow maker a try, that would be awesome. I would love to see pictures of what you're doing. You can email them to me at creativepageswithcatherine@gmail.com. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of my bow using our Haunted Happenings paper and what you think of that compared to the Full Moon Fun ones from the bow garland last year. So this is the back side of it. You can see where, like, I didn't even worry about getting my little strip around here straight. But those little crescent moons really helped line things up nicely in our envelope and bow maker. And you can make this strip a little bit longer if you want to, but it's nice to just kind of poof it out, follow the guide, and you can adhere it to a garland, to a present, a card, whatever you're making or whatever you want. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscribe button. I will have some other fun projects coming up. Until next time.